Hey everybody, welcome back to Sultan Sanctuary. We're going to be going to a level I actually kinda like, but also one I never do properly, and this is no exception because there's no story here, so fuck it. I'm not gonna do shit correctly. This is my LP.
Whoa!
I don't think I meant to do that. I used my last eyeball potion, so this is the last we're gonna see of these guys. I think I actually need to hunt them this, so maybe not. Maybe I hunted them off screen. Whatever. The main reason we needed the hard light from the last episode is because it gates us off from this area. We cannot progress because of that stuff there. And I don't have balls, so I didn't drop down from there because I was deathly afraid I'd fall through the pit.
It won't go hard unless you start at the very beginning.
Something cool's gonna happen to an enemy that I absolutely fucking loathe. Say hello to the mounted spearman. You can fucking parry him.
Wow.
This is the intended way, I think, because it's so reliable. Once he's off his horse, he's the worst enemy on the planet. I have no idea how to deal with him, so I just say fuck it, I'm done. Bye. Meanwhile, we have these little imps with spears. What's there to say about them? They just poke you.
Those sound less like wings and more like they're clicking bones together.
Speaking of bones, we got a hateful jawbone from them.
That's a band name.
Yeah, actually. Better copyright that shit.
There's Jawbreaker, I don't think that's close enough though.
Here is an area that I absolutely don't need to do, but I don't realize it during recording.
The Deep Sea.
I like these enemies a lot, mainly because they're an interesting way to bait the players when you're playing for the first time.
Well, yeah, they don't seem to do much.
Their only real danger is having attacks that go outside their light radius, so you can't really gauge it all that well. But yeah, they're not really that tough. They're super weak to slashing, like 1 or 2 hits from a sword, they're dead. But guess who brought a boat oar to this hellhole? I don't think I've ever seen anyone wear the Bloodbrow gear. I might have to see what level that is next recording and try and equip it. Please come into my boat oar!
They do look a bit like anglerfish versions of those big guys in Blighttown.
Yeah, kinda. Like, I can understand the anglerfish motif since there's a lot of sea motifs in this game. Also, I need to really stop doing high time. This is me just kinda sitting there like, do I really need to do this? Whatever. It's an LP, let's show it off, I guess. Yeah, that's just another path where we need the opposite of Hardlight brand to deal with. This area is really neat though, just because there's a lot of, The weird thing about this game is that there's no loading zones, so the entire world is loaded all at once. And you could actually see a lot of the interconnected nature of the world just by it from this area. And now we are gonna, first off, go up, because, I thought there was an item at the top of this ziggurat, but there's not. The amusing thing, too, you could skip this dungeon. Well, you technically can't skip it because there's an item you need, but if you want to do other things first, you can just go over the dungeon.
I was hoping so.
I think at this point I realized I had something equipped that would, that helped me beat the, third lamb, and I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, why didn't they put something there?
I think they figured it'd be too easy. It's a popular tourist spot. You often see a lot of bottles there. Why there wasn't any, though? I don't know. Welcome to the Ziggurat of Dust, also known as there's going to be a lot of fucking fire here. Wanna guess why? So the main enemy you're gonna be seeing in this area is the skeleton, I don't know if they're liches or sorcerers or what the fuck ever. They cast fire and they teleport wherever the hell they want. They're not hard to deal with. The only issue is that at random times they could just go to a place that you can't reach, and then you're just kind of stuck there with your thumb up your ass.
But what if you play the game with a thumb up your ass? Would you be so judgmental then?
Yes. Kind of like now. Luckily, though, here he decides to meet me on even grounds and then, you know, get ored. Now, this enemy is so bizarre I can never understand it. Half the time he will run away from you, like such. But then at random times he'll also just punch you with his shovels.
Looks like a werebear.
Kinda. It's hard to tell in our preview videos, but he has, like, gouge out eyeballs that are sewn shut.
Ugh.
You could actually sneak up on him and get some damage in, but oftentimes if you have like a torch, he'll run away. Other times he'll just run up to you and punch you. This time they were very aggressive. Very aggressive. It was almost confusing because I'm so used to them just running the fuck away.
Oh no, hard light.
Better than hard water.
Ice.
Well, it's... I mean... Yeah. Why do we call it hard water stains?
There's heavy water, is that what you were thinking?
Heavy water is something else entirely. I know hard water stains are just those water streaks that you see on your shower. Why the fuck are we talking about this?
I notice that you're attacking chests all the time now. How many chests that you come across are going to be mimics?
I believe 4 or 5. I know there's a mimic here, but I just forgot where. Now, there's an instance of him running, but he's programmed to do this because for this area you need to do a platforming puzzle, and he leads you to a trap. Bye.
Yeah, he doesn't seem too bothered by you.
Yeah, he leads you into a trap which is like 2 or 3 skeleton casters. They could get pretty frustrating, especially if you don't know you're there. And in my circumstance, I just kind of gotta fucking wait. And I believe some... Oh, hi. I thought you left! Oh, fuck. That's... Oh, no. I need to get out of here.
He just wants to party.
Yeah. I don't like fighting the shovel guys just because they're HP sponges. Oh, and if you're wondering what the hell just happened, the zombie mage killed that dude by fireball damage.
I'm guessing usually there's not friendly fire.
I think it was probably caused because the fireball hit the ground and then it became like a fire hazard and he was just standing in it because he's blind and stupid. So we did all that to make a ledge appear just so we could wall jump. It's like the most video game design I've ever seen.
We purposely forgot how to close this gate.
This is another one of the levels where they make really good use out of the Vertigo brand. Because suddenly a level feels like more of a level because I'm upside down. Too bad this guy's here or I'd go to town.
Ah!
Come on, dude, just teleport. Okay, good. What? Oh, you moved like 3 inches to the left, dude.
Look, when he does what you ask, you can't complain.
Yeah, it's true. Now, this is an area that has a lot of decent items for any playthrough, but it's also kind of frustrating because once you get the treasures, you have to come right the fuck back here because you can't progress. Is that the same guy? He died in like 2 hits, that's not normal. But anyways, we got the Stone Charm, it increases stagger damage. This is really good if you play like any one-handed weapon class, because you're going to be doing a lot of hits with it and then stack up stagger damage. I know this because when I did my Dex run, that charm was really good. When you're going to be forced to do a bunch of hits, having that just stop an enemy in its tracks, super good.
Suppose you were to run through the game to just get that or anything. How much of the game would you be able to skip on your way here?
Oh, if you're going exclusively for the Stone Charm, you would need to do... basically everything up to the red hollow cages, and then you gotta do the you gotta ignore red hollow cages and go straight to a forgotten chamber. So you gotta do a lot. You gotta do basically 8 episodes of stuff.
Hmm.
Now the stagger isn't important, it's just a lovely luxury. There's a ledge there, but I don't think they intend for you to get up there.
Now try jumping.
Yes. Try jumping. It's fun. Shortcuts open, never have to do that again. I think I know what's up here. Da-da-da-da-da. Here we get Flame Barrage. It's basically like Lightning Barrage. It's a fire hose. Really good for just melting bosses.
But what if they're already melted?
You can melt them further. Got roughly 20,000 salt though, let's spend that. Though I think I'm also hitting the point where levels are getting a bit expensive. And the trio skill is kind of just like a squandered thing in my opinion. Like we mentioned it before how there's very little interlocking and the fact that you have prerequisites kind of messes with it. I really wish that the prerequisites weren't there.
Yeah, maybe if you were able to take away something you'd already gotten without needing the other pearl.
Well, just, you know, being able to, like, they give you the link, but then you stop at, like, 1 or 2 levels. If you could just, you know, not need level 2 light armor to get level 3 light armor, it would be a lot more interesting of a game. It would be a lot more interesting and dynamic level up paths. But because they cause that, it makes the game way more linear in terms of progression. Bye. I don't know, it's just something I've been thinking about, because I know Path of Exile and Final Fantasy X don't do this, and it makes the game a lot more interesting. I remember when I first played Final Fantasy X, near the end of the game I had the opportunity to quite literally steal anyone else's ability. So I stole someone's ability to throw blitz balls. Ow. It's kind of interesting how the AI pretends he's blind. It definitely gives more of a verisimilitude to this game. Like, more than often he will attack you instead of not attack you, but just those little effects makes you think, yeah, they thought of this, that's really clever. Makes the game a lot more easy to just dive into. Now for the first boss of this area. You're gonna look at it and wonder why its weakness is as such. It's a bigger sorcerer!
It looks very haughty.
So, this is a boss where once you memorize his patterns, he is comically easy. All of his attacks are fire-based. Wanna know what he's weak to?
Really?
Yeah, he's weak to fire. It is extremely dumb. I kinda couldn't understand why, but it's also just like, wow, really? Okay. I mean, they don't have much elements to work with, but I feel like it should be, hey, you're weak to lightning, I guess, because it's the only other thing. But no, you could just use fire, and it's super easy. I do like this boss, though. He doesn't have the 0-frame windups that a lot of other bosses have. And he has really good patterns that are tough to memorize, but once you do, it really trivializes him. And he has very noticeable cues, too. Like, you can't mix up, say, Laser Light Show for Fire Knife for Firewall. He has very obvious tells, and if you know what you're doing, you can beat it. But when you're learning him, it's still relatively tough. Mainly because in Phase 2, he loves to stack the Laser Light Show. I am proud to say, though, I don't think I've ever died to this guy. Another interesting bit of trivia, when he casts Firewall, he has a little bit of a rune circle behind him. It's the same thing that you get whenever you cast spells, because he is casting your Firewall magic.
Huh.
I kind of wish I could get that weird fire knife throw, though. That looks really cool.
Was that a violin or a horn in the music?
In the boss fight music, I think it's a violin, but I think the "you defeated" message is a horn. Now we're gonna get the best mechanic in the game, bar none. Here we go. Hello, friend. This is the main reason why I do this path exclusively. Here we get a little bit more of a teaser of what the plot was supposed to entail, but it doesn't really amount to anything.
I like you walked up to them, just casually talking to them while on fire.
Look, buddy, it's a torch. I'm not on fire. This is the hint of the big, bad, evil guy in this game. Just a very greedy something.
So Aldrich.
I think so? I don't know much about Dark Souls 3. But we don't get a double jump in this game, technically. We got something called the Dart Brand. We get an air dash now. And also combined with the wall jump, you could get a lot of verticality with the Dart Brand. And I love this thing so much, because not only is it an air dash, you get 2 in 1 dash. So you could go really fucking fast.
Wow.
By the way, from here on out, you're probably going to be seeing me doing a lot of air dashes, because it's faster to air dash than it is to do anything else. By the way, here's the guy with scorpion armor.
Okay.
Bye. I don't like fighting. But yeah, air dashing is a lot faster, and there's a glitch type of air dash that's easier to do in this version than the PS4 version, that when you do it, you go like 5 times as far, and fast. So we have another fork that we could go to. There's a boat there that will take us to another area. And we have the sanctuary that will take us either down to a forest or right to an area that you're not supposed to go to. Or not right, left. What are directions? What am I gonna get in here? I think I'm gonna go for carrying capacity because that's steadily becoming a problem. I'm always so indecisive with leveling. It's terrible. Because, like, I know I'm not optimized, but I'm still thinking, what should I get?
Well, then there's so many options.
Yeah, a lot of them are duplicate options as well, but you look forward, you look ahead and you're like, I could get this, or I could get this. I could also get this too. So many options for such a linear path. None of these guys will actually help me, so I just don't bother putting these guys down. Now we are gonna fight another boss that you could get to really quickly, but hey, notice how there's still 10 minutes left in the video?
What does this silver leaf do?
I honestly don't know, but you're not supposed to be able to do this. I want to say that's an oversight. I don't think the developers intended you to do this. Because I am basically doing this area backwards now. What you're supposed to do is get stabbed by a dude from Diablo 2. I mean, what you're supposed to do is find a new area in the Ziggurat of Dust that flips a switch that opens the door to another half of this level, allowing you to get more treasures and stuff, and then you find the right path to the next boss. But I don't care. I'm gonna cheat. I got the Dart Brand. Everything's great. Now we've unlocked the shortcut and I don't have to break my kneecaps anymore. It's fine. The only issue is the walk to the boss. Yeah, I sure wish I could use a shield. So here's the thing. This is the Bloodless Prince. You know how the third lamb had 500 strike resist and a lot of HP?
Mm-hmm.
This guy has 600 strike resist and even more HP. Pro tip, this fight's gonna last roughly 7 of the 8 minutes left in the video, and he doesn't have a second phase. This is the entirety of the fight. I can add no commentary, so I'm gonna provide you all with a little bit of something I've been doing in my free time. Necromunda is a game of fierce combat between rival gang fighters in the dangerous underworld of Necromundian hives. A hive is an ancient and incomprehensibly vast city, built up layer upon layer, stretching 10 miles into the planet's atmosphere. To those who live in the depths of the dark and ruinous Underhive, offers every opportunity for wealth and power. Its collapsed caverns conceal the riches of the distant past, rare and precious metals, unfathomable archaeotech devices, wondrous mutated fungi, and much more. It's also a place of danger, where mutant creatures, renegades, and killers hide from the laws of the House and Hive. And of course, there are others who want the riches of the Underhive for themselves. Outside of the hives, the planet's surface is covered by endless miles of toxic ash waste from the atmosphere, so polluted that it corrodes the hive's armored walls. Above is a harsh sky and the sun's deadly light. Beyond the planet itself is the wider galaxy and a great realm of the Imperium of Man, empire of 1,000,000 worlds held in the thrall of the Adeptus of Earth. But such things are nothing but legends in the Underhive, where sky, space, planets, and even ground itself are concepts so wild and abstract that many refuse to believe they exist. The Necromunda game allows you to fight conflicts between rival Underhive gangs on a tabletop. The opposing gangs are represented by models assembled and painted by yourself, each representing an individual gang fighter. You'll find more information about the different cultures and peoples of Necromunda in the later sections of the book. Your tabletop becomes a part of the Underhive, a scene of the action, with ruined buildings, gantries, and multi-level walkways. The aim of the game is to outfight your opponent, which requires a mixture of skill and luck. You'll soon learn how to arm and equip your gang efficiently, and how to exploit the ruins and other terrain to your best advantage. You'll also want to expand your gangs beyond the models provided in the game. Many models are available for different gangs, and new models are coming out all the time. With these, you can expand your collection, equip fighters with different weapons, and add more powerful characters. Every time you play Necromunda, you earn the opportunity to expand or improve your gang. By winning games... Are you playing music?
Are you reading shit?
Yes. By winning games, you gain territory, discover ancient artifacts, uncover mineral wealth, and so on. With this wealth, you can buy more weaponry and hire more gang fighters. Your gang will also improve with time. Each time a gang fights, its member gains in skill and experience. Young juveniles quickly progress to become full gang members, and fighters learn new abilities which make them superior combatants. As the gang leader becomes richer, and his followers are even more deadly, his fame will spread throughout the Underhive. Famous gunfighters and other renegades will come and seek him out, perhaps to join him, maybe to collect the inevitable bounty that piles upon his head. By recording the details of your gang, you can watch it grow from a bunch of young hopefuls to hardened fighters feared and respected throughout the Underhive. This book, the Necromunda Rulebook, contains the rules of the game. You don't need to learn all the rules to play, but we suggest you read through the rulebook before attempting your first game. The most important rules are summarized on separate playsheets, and you'll quickly find that these are all you need in most situations. For more detailed rules, and to resolve more complex situations, you can always refer to the rulebook itself. If you're new to Games Workshop games, then you'll be reassured to know that finding other players isn't normally a problem. Bullshit. You'll be surprised at how many there are. There may be a Games Workshop store nearby where you can obtain models, paints, and game supplies. Games Workshop stores are not just shops, they are hobby centers where the staff will happily help you learn the rules, show you how to paint, and suggest ways for you to use and develop your collection. Games Workshop staffs are also players who collect and paint their own forces and fight battles themselves. Jesus Christ, I've read a full page of this manual, this fight's still going. What you will need to play Necromunda. Models. Games of Necromunda are fought out using model fights, each approximately 28mm tall. Before fighting, you need enough models to assemble a complete gang, as detailed later in the rules. A large variety of different models are available from Games Workshop, illustrations of which can be found throughout the book, and in particular in the whatever. Templates. Special templates are used to determine the effects of many weapons. For examples, grenade and shell bursts, and the gout of burning fire projectile are a flamer. You can find these near the back of the book on page 142. Wow, that's a really weirdly written segment. Come on, Games Workshop. You can photocopy this page and cut out the templates for use in your games, or alternately, purchase more sturdy plastic versions available from Games Workshop. Dice! A variety of dice are used in Necromunda as follows. From left to right, you need 2 d6s, a scatter die, and an artillery die. Ordinary dice, known as d6s, are marked as 1 to 6 in the usual way. These dice are used a lot during play and to save space on charts that are always referred to as d6s. So when the rules call upon you to roll a d6, we are simply asking you to roll a dice. d6 plus 1 means roll a dice and add 1 to the score. 2d6 means roll two dice and add the scores together to obtain a score of between 2 to 12. How have I still not killed this boss yet? Scatter dice. The scatter dice is marked with 4 arrows and 2 hit symbols. The dice is used to determine where the grenades and shells land if they miss their target, hence scatter. The dice can be used to establish any random direction from a point. Note that the hit symbol also has a small arrow on it, facilitating this. The artillery dice is marked 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10, and misfire. The dice is used in conjunction with the scatter dice to determine how far the shells land from their mark. A misfire can result in a shell providing dud or even exploding in the breach. In some cases, you could also find references to a dice called the D3. There's no such thing as a 3-sided dice. Bullshit, you can actually buy a D3. Instead, a D3 means you can roll a D6 and have the result rounding up. By the way, the fight's done.
Finished on an E chord.
Oh god, I hate that fight so much. That was a 6-minute boss fight. If you can't tell, I've been playing a board game called Necromunda, and it's really fun. It's basically tabletop, but less... It's basically Warhammer 40k, but less insane with numbers. Though the rulings are kind of stupid, one of the rules I hate is that you can't run away from a person. If you're like within 8 inches of a target, you can't run away because they'll spook you. By the way, more plot. We were supposed to see this before the Bloodless Prince, but no way.
Does it know what I have done?
We technically know what it has done because the dude that gave us the dart brand told us what he's done. So this is like that connection of rumor meets relevance. And that was it.
Dead again. Trying to remember what I was just playing. First was Wish You Were Here by Pink Floyd. Second was Pretty Girls Don't Cry by Chris Isaak. Third was 12XU by Wire, and then I was just fucking around for the rest of it.
Did you really play 3 songs in the span of that boss fight?
Not complete songs, but, you know.
Okay.
That said, I did play all of 12XU in that time, but it's a very short song.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, that's a shining example of how the ore run is gonna give you the shaft. And it's not the worst fight by comparison. I was doing research and there's the boss is far worse! Oh boy. With that, we're getting a bit more levels. I think we got 3 from fighting the Bloodless Prince, because I don't think you're supposed to fight him in the way I did. I think you're supposed to do other things and then come back here. But I don't care. I do things I want. It's my LP. It's gonna make no goddamn sense, but whatever. So, next time on Salt and Sanctuary, we're gonna be taking a boat and going to an entirely new area. The wrong way.
I would hope so.
See you folks next time.